Hello and welcome to the first video in my series, Let's Write a Gothic Story. Several of you have commented that you're writing or want to write your own Gothic narrative, so I've created this series to help you make that dream a reality. Over several videos, we'll explore the structure of successful storytelling with a Gothic twist to enable you to craft your very own Gothic tale. If that sounds interesting, hit the notification bell now so you don't miss the next upload, where I'll focus on exposition, the beginning stage of a story where setting, characters, and genre are usually established. In this video, we'll take a look at 5 famous opening lines from Gothic novels and explore why and how they work. Before we get started, turn on the subtitles and download the PDF containing these 5 Gothic openings as well as a glossary of the literary terms discussed, which you can find in the description box down below. Then you can annotate it directly on your device or print it off, whatever works for you. Lastly, feel free to pause the video and make any notes as we go along. With all that said, let's dive into these 5 Gothic openings and explore how and why they work. Number 1. The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. A little bit of context before I start. Poe's work reflects the early 19th century American Romantic movement, exploring themes of decay and madness. This mirrors a society grappling with its identity, emphasizing the psychological depth that defines Gothic literature. During the whole of a dull, dark and soundless day when the clouds hung oppressively low in the heavens, I at length found myself within view of the melancholy house of Usher. Poe's lengthy opening line, which I've edited a bit for concision, immediately establishes a Gothic mood through its rich descriptive language and use of pathetic fallacy, which is when writers use the weather to evoke a certain mood. Adjectives like dull, dark and soundless create an atmosphere of desolation, with the alliteration of the D sound further emphasizing the lack of sensory stimulation in the setting. Meanwhile, the oppressive clouds symbolize the weighty gloom of the Usher estate, which is personified by the adjective melancholy and invites us to perceive the house as a living and rather gloomy entity. Lastly, Poe's decision to delay mentioning the house of Usher until the end of the line builds tension, keeping readers in suspense. As you craft your own Gothic story, consider how you can create a dark and somber mood in your opening line. Share your thoughts in the comments down below. Published in 1938, Rebecca captures post-World War I anxieties and shifting gender roles. The unnamed narrator's vulnerability reflects the social pressures women face during this time of transition, enhancing the Gothic atmosphere of haunting memories. This line immediately evokes a sense of nostalgia and mystery, suggesting a longing for the past. The narrator's yearning for the enigmatic Mandalay is clearly conveyed in the word again, suggesting a strong, ongoing connection to the place and even a sense of being haunted by it, which the mention of night underscores. The power of the past is a central theme in Gothic literature, which in itself looks back to the earlier epoch of medievalism. If you're interested in the origins of Gothic literature, then click in the top right-hand corner now to watch my video and find out more. Number 3. The Road by Cormac McCarthy. While The Road is not strictly categorized as Southern Gothic, McCarthy's writing often includes elements of this subgenre, characterized by its exploration of decay, violence, and social issues set against the backdrop of the American South. When he woke in the woods in the dark and cold, he'd reach out to touch the child sleeping beside him. The Road's opening line sets an immediate tone of desolation and discomfort through the simple yet effective description of that classic Gothic setting, the forest, which symbolizes the boundary between savagery and civilization, a place we seek refuge in, yet at the same time, a place that can threaten or even terrify us. The imagery of the woods in the dark also evokes feelings of isolation and danger. The mention of cold further highlights the harshness of the setting, though the act of reaching out to touch the child introduces a tender yet haunting dynamic. Number 4. The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. In The Graveyard Book, Gaiman blends Gothic elements with fantasy in a contemporary context. There was a hand in the darkness, and it held a knife. Gaiman's opening line is both striking and immediate, creating an instant feeling of danger and suspense. The reference to darkness arouses fear and uncertainty, while the threatening and disembodied image of an unknown hand gripping a knife suggests violence lurking just out of reach. Number 5. Masque of the Red Death by Bethany Griffin. Griffin's 2012 retelling of Poe's classic tale taps into contemporary fears of mortality and social decay, exploring human desires and fears in a rapidly changing world. The charcoal sky spits cold rain as we rumble to a stop at a crossroad. Like Poe's, Griffin's opening line uses pathetic fallacy to create a sense of foreboding with its brooding imagery of a charcoal sky and cold rain. The verb spit personifies the rain, presenting it as an aggressive entity, an impression enhanced by the repeated use of the S sound, a technique known as sibilant, which writers often use to construct a sinister mood. Furthermore, the symbolism of a crossroad suggests confusion and uncertainty, enhancing the unsettling atmosphere and foreshadowing the challenges that lie ahead for the novel's characters. Which line do you find the most effective and why? Or do you have your own opening line you'd like to share? Let me know in the comments down below, and remember to hit the notification bell now so you don't miss my next video, where I'll be exploring exposition and how to tailor it to the Gothic genre. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.